They're just wishful thinking. But to the faithful, they're signs of God's existence. Is there more to these manifestations than meets the eye? My quest across America continues. As I've discovered on my travels across the South and Southwest, the U.S. is richer in spiritual cultures than any other country in the world. But outside of the centuries-old traditions I've already come across, America's also home to a slew of modern-day miracles.
And in recent years, there have been some very odd and unique sightings that some consider signs of the divine.
They've popped up all across the country, from California to the coast of Florida. And I'm wondering, could there be more to these miracles than meets the eye? And can these wonders reveal something about what miracles mean to modern-day Americans? Bradenton, Florida. On the walls of the Palma Sola Presbyterian Church, this strange image appears. Many see in it the face of Jesus with a halo. Hundreds flock to this small town just north of Sarasota to see the Savior's face staring back at them from the church wall. The image appeared when painters pressure cleaned the wall, and it only appears when the wall is wet. While some think it's a hoax, believers see in it nothing short of a miracle. Also on the Gulf Coast, in the town of Clearwater, the faithful flock to a former bank. The attraction? The Rainbow Madonna. Mirrored window panels reflect light, miraculously creating a silhouette of the Virgin Mary, outlined in multiple hues.
Fantastic, isn't it? I have to believe it. Well, I got great devotion to Mary, too. I think that ties in with it.
And Florida isn't the only place where miraculous images appear. Wareham, Massachusetts. In a local church, a Christ-like figure appeared on an old closet door after stain was applied to it. To churchgoers, the saintly stain is definitely a sign of the divine.
I saw the face of Jesus.
There's some kind of a divine connection to all of this in our mind, you know. We want to let what is divine come out.
More of these strange sightings have been reported in the U.S. than in any other country in the world. Could seeing the miraculous in everyday places and things be a typically American passion?
American religion has always emphasized the experiential over divine and everything else. People want to experience God. They want to experience God for themselves. You know, there's some place in the New Testament, Jesus says, blessed are those who have not seen, meaning miracles, but have believed.
But maybe to some, believing is seeing and not the other way around. I decided to find out what's really behind these divine designs. So I met up with Dr. Irving Biederman, a professor of neuroscience at the University of Southern California, who studies how the mind recognizes and perceives images.
Part of our brain is devoted to interpreting faces. So if there's a pattern that could possibly be a face, then we will interpret it that way. So when you're a child and looked up at the clouds, it would be, if something could possibly be a face, we often would give it that interpretation.
But what is it that makes someone see Jesus and Mary, where someone else might just see a shapeless figure?
A person who is religiously oriented will have been exposed to a lot more religious symbols, so they're much more likely to see them, which is why we've always said that miracles are partly seen through the eyes of faith.
Should we take all of these miracles and all of these phenomena seriously? Even the ones that seem a bit silly, as it were, I hate to say that, but...
They seem so trivial. There's a lot of things that transform people's lives. No matter what else you said about religion, it transformed people's lives.
And around the country, many of these strange images have done just that. In Floresville, Texas, people flock to a small home not far from San Antonio to reflect in silence in front of this image.
The clear outline, the little shawl right here, her face, and her little hands right here.
Many see in it the Madonna, and her appearance has strengthened the faith of believers who've come to kneel at her feet. Across the country, people seem to find solace in these signs. But according to Dr. Biederman, these feelings of well-being can also be explained.
It turns out that feeling we have of the sublime, you might say, is really just merely the release of these brain chemicals, these opioids. There's nothing mysterious about that. It's the same brain chemistry that we all experience.
What's different is what moves us to feel the sublime. For many of the faithful, these images have that power. As signs of God's existence, they can truly transform.
The real goal in all religions, in different ways, they're not the same, but you can be described in the same way, is the transformation of self.
Maybe the true miracle is the one that inspires the most wondrous of all quests, the inner journey. And that's the real significance of all these apparitions, to stir something inside us all so that we take that first step on our own journeys, whether that takes us around the world, around the block, or into our own hearts. On this miraculous journey across America, it's become clear that some people see miracles where others see magic. Some people see signs where others see mere coincidence. And whether you're communing with the spirits in New Orleans or performing signs in Appalachia, one thing's for sure: the U.S. is a melting pot of unique, miraculous traditions that all seem to bring a distinct flavor to the country's vast spiritual landscape.